Hey everyone, exciting news. We've officially launched the Paranoid Perspective Patreon. If you love what we do, unpacking conspiracies, chasing mysteries, and laughing through the weirdness, now you can support the show and get more of it.
So, for as little as $5 a month, you will get exclusive access and extra perks to the episode. Sarah, what do we get with tier one?
So, tier one is the Curious Minds, and you get a shout out at the end of every episode.
Next tier, this is what you guys really probably want, ad free episodes. We don't need those pesky ads that you guys are getting on Spotify, Apple, whatever else. You will get all episodes ad free, along with what else, Sarah?
You'll also get it ahead of time. So before the episode releases for that week, it'll be available for you to watch or listen.
So, if you guys are interested, check in the show notes down below, or you can head to patreon.com/ the Paranoid Perspective Podcast. Welcome back to the Paranoid Perspective. I'm Jake.
And I'm Sarah.
We are week 2 into spooky season, Sarah, and
Yay.
I figured since you did one that was, up by you in the Chicago area, I figured this week we'd do one that's a little closer to me in the Tennessee area. We are talking about the Bell Witch, which actually the Bell Witch Cave and where this happened is not too far away from where I'm currently living. And I need to get down there one of these times.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
was going to ask, have you ever been there?
I've driven past it many a times. So it's literally like halfway to Nashville for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So every time I go to Nashville, I'm driving through the town that this happened in.
Right. Oh,
It's
I drove through there too then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're on Highway 24 heading towards Nashville, more than likely you will see a sign for Adams, Tennessee, and that is where this happened. So
Okay. That's
so
good.
this is kind of like, I don't know, man. This story I think is a lot darker than people think it is, just because this happened. It's not just a ghost story. Like, it also happened like when people were trying to build a society out of literally nothing. Like, there was stuff around, but we're still talking very, very like almost frontier style living. You know what I mean? Where you're
Okay.
having to build something from scratch in a place that you don't know where, like, really the area. You know what I mean? And now that's to
Yeah.
say, it's not like super late. Like, it's not like we're not talking like 1600s, 1700s era. Like, this definitely happened in the 1800s. But so there was establishments and stuff. But still, man, like, you got to think how hard you had to be just to go out to the woods and be like, "Yep, looks like a good spot for me. Gonna go build myself a house right now.
Right.
Just call it good."
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
I
Wow.
don't know. But like I said, this is much more than a ghost story. It's also like a cultural thing of like the American frontier and the way communities were able to explain the unexplained, and how this like shaped folklore for like what we have in this area now too. So it's kind of been almost 2 centuries, and the tale of the Bell Witch has still lingered in this area forever. Like, dude, like I said, you can still go to the Bell Witch Cave and take a tour of it. Like, it's an actual attraction, I guess would
Wow.
be a shitty way to say it, but it is an attraction. You pay to go walk through this cave. So I don't know.
So like I guess we'll get into it, but like this was a real like creature or something? Like in the
Supposedly.
cave?
Well,
Okay.
maybe. I don't know about the cave.
Okay.
I don't think it's like a thing that resides somewhere. I think it's a spiritual entity that is just a mist in this area, I guess would be the best
Yeah.
way to say it. But the strangest thing is it started with just some strange knocking, and this was all the way back in 1817. And it was supposed to be like, supposedly it murdered John Bell 1820. That's why they call it the Bell Witch.
Okay.
So I don't know. And that's the thing. It's like when you hear about like the story that supposedly happened, and now that we have an attraction to it, it's kind of
Yeah.
morbid a little bit, but it's still kind of funny, you know. But there is tourists that still surround the Bell Witch Cave, and it's like a legend that never really faded out of the zeitgeist of this culture. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, this let's get some context. So this is early 19th century Tennessee, and Tennessee at the time was a place of a lot of opportunity. It had a lot of hardship though too. Like farming families lived in absolute isolation. You're
Mm.
surrounded by wilderness. If you get sick, if you get cut, if an animal bites you, like dude, you're kind of fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's nobody coming to help you. So that's why I say it's kind of like that frontiers-ish sort of thing. You are completely isolated by yourself. So there was also, as there is today, a very strong religious belief in this part of the country and superstition that was even stronger, if we're going to be
Yeah.
mild about it. Anything that could be explained by medicine or the church was often given, or that couldn't be explained by like natural medicine, or not natural medicine, scientific medicine or the church, was often like, oh, it's a witch, it's supernatural, it's this, well, you know what I mean?
Right.
That
It's a
that that
demon. Like,
Right. You know, you got a headache, you got a demon in your head. Here's some leeches to
yep.
put on your body. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so like,
There's
oh,
demons in your bones.
yeah, yeah, here's some cocaine. Go ahead and do this. You'll feel better.
Yeah. Right.
Now, John Bell was originally from North Carolina. He moved with his wife Lucy and their children to Robertson County, Tennessee, 1804. And they settled on this fertile land on the Red River, which they built a pretty prosperous farm. By all accounts, John was a really respected figure in the community, serving as an elder in the local Red River Baptist Church. His family lived in a modest wooded home surrounded by fields, orchards, etc. It was a real simple but secure way of life for that family. It wasn't like anything out of the normal for that sort of family dynamic at this. So, but this was an environment that like supposedly this Bell witch kind of like was able to kind of sneak its way in because it was like an overabundance of faith, fear, and uncertainty with like the current living conditions. You know what I mean? So word is that this entity, whatever it was, that's how it kind of like infiltrated its way in. You know?
Hmm. Okay. It took advantage or
Right.
whatever.
Right. And you hear that all the time with like demonic stuff or whatever. It waits for like a rift in the family, or it waits for
Hmm.
a tragic event to happen where it can kind of sneak its way on in, just going to scooch on in right here and
Right.
burrow on in. So, but the really first thing that happened, I kind of talked about it in the beginning, it came in 1817. John Bell spotted a strange creature in his fields. It was described as having the body of a dog, but the head of a rabbit.
Oh, I haven't heard that. Is that like a normal Appalachian creature thing? Is
Well,
that how? I
I
thought this was a mist. So that's also the witch
I don't know. It very well
or
could be.
familiar, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Or it could just be something that is stalking them out, seeing
Right.
getting
Head
the
of a
stage
rabbit.
settle. Yeah. Imagine seeing that though. Like, cause like I'm assuming like when they say head of a dog, like I'm assuming they're not thinking of like a chihuahua. You know what I mean? Like it had
Yeah.
to be something pretty big, right? And then
Yeah.
I don't think its head would obviously be proportional, you would think. Which actually, if it was a tiny head on a big body, I think that'd be even more terrifying,
That'd
regardless.
be kind of funny.
But he was startled and he actually fired at it and the animal ran off. I
Hmm.
mean, valid. If I saw some crazy shit like that in the woods and I had a gun, I'd probably be like, fuck you. I'm not dealing with that.
Right.
But soon after that, his family began hearing strange knocks and scratching sounds
Mm,
on the outside of their house walls. Now, they're living in the wilderness. So they really first assumed it was just a fucking animal. It could have been mice. It
yeah.
could have been a raccoon. You know what I mean? Or possibly mischief from some of like the close by. And when I say close by, I mean their neighbors that were miles away at that time.
Right.
Some of the kids might have been messing with them. That like it was like that's kind of the thought process they had. The sounds didn't stop. However, they grew increasingly louder and more consistent, and eventually they started moving indoors.
Like, ugh. How'd it
Yeah,
get in?
I
They let
guess
them in.
I guess the fear of hearing that consistently getting
Yeah.
louder and more consistent, it kind of freaked me out too. So eventually it got to the point where it wasn't just scratching and knocking. Bed covers were being ripped away at night. Small objects were being
Mm.
knocked off the shelves. Hair was being tugged, and faint whispering accompanied the activity.
Oh. So like poltergeist for
Right.
real.
We're talking like no shit poltergeist activity. Possibly
Right.
one of the first like well documented poltergeist cases.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
well, the whispers ended up getting a lot clearer to the point where you could actually hear like a distinct voice. And this marked the point where the haunting crossed from like the realm of like, ooh, this is kind of weird. I can't really like explain this to the realm of like, holy shit, there's a disembodied voice, intelligent, and it's mocking us and it's persistent.
Right. Wow. What was it saying? Is there any?
So the entity soon identified itself and it claimed to be Kate and was often called Kate Batts. She apparently, without any historical connection to the Bells family, like neighbors, apparently she was a witch that used to be in the area, supposedly.
Oh, okay. That
That,
like died on the
yeah,
land or something?
right, right. This spirit engaged in conversation with the Bells, not only with them, but with visitors that would come to their home.
Oh wow.
It would reportedly recite scripture, mimic the voices of family members, and even sing hymns.
Yeah, that's not terrifying at
Right.
all. Just random.
No, no, no.
My gosh. Was it
Yeah,
during the day too, or just at night? I
all
guess.
times.
Yeah.
There
Wow.
wasn't a particular time or anything like that. Like I said, it from what I've gathered is when it started off slow and then when it started to escalate, it went from like 0 to 100 real fucking quick. Like it wasn't like a slow burn that happened. Because you got to think, like I said at the beginnings, allegedly this entity killed him only 2 years after it started.
Yeah.
So
Well, so they were giving it energy and it was growing and
more than likely,
yeah.
usually what people like to say. And the other thing, it also seemed to know details about events happening miles away, as if it had knowledge of its immediate surroundings, but also like way outside of the bounds that somebody would know.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I guess I can see everywhere if it's a spirit.
Yeah. And the spirit Kate, as it was identified as, it dedicated most of its hostility towards John Bell and his daughter Betsy. Those are the two that got
Mm.
like the brunt of all this. Betsy was subject to like slaps, pinches, hair pulling, while John's health began to fail under the strain of constant torment. Like I'm talking
Hmm.
it was not letting him fucking sleep. It was just
That's crazy.
fucking with him all the time. And neighbors witnessed many of these events, allegedly, and they started to spread it across Robertson County and beyond.
Hmm.
So this is where that kind of gets like the Bell Witch almost becomes like a community spectacle, like already,
Yeah.
because you've got people that are traveling and trying to figure out what this is. Neighbors who travel long distance to hear the voices for themselves. According to accounts, the witch conversed freely with guests, like it was eager to talk to guests.
Hmm. I guess the more attention, it just wants.
Well, and
I don't
like
know.
like you said, if it's like an energy thing, the more
Yeah.
attention and fear it gets, maybe that's the stronger it gets. So, um, it would even mock John Bell in public, even if he carried on like it would have like supposedly like theological debates with him and like mock him as these were happening.
Hmm.
So,
That's crazy. That so many people could hear it too. Like that's
yeah,
insane.
right. Now, some claim that the witch could predict the future. One story describes the witch as reporting details of sermons being delivered at churches miles away, details that witnesses later confirmed.
Hmm.
So, but the Bell Farm became a place of both fear and fascination. In a deep religious society, this phenomenon was interpreted in terms of faith, scripture, or even like a no shit battle between good and evil. That's what they thought
Mm.
was fucking happening here. So I don't know. It's one of those weird. I think it's funny how it goes so quickly, and then like it came as a spectacle for people around in the community so quickly, and it still is to this day. That's the only thing that
Right.
kind of like gives it a little bit of credence for me, as far as like why would people were like, if this wasn't like as crazy as it sounds, why would people still think it's a thing and go to the Bell Witch Cave and do that stuff, you know?
Right. So, yeah, you can go to the cave and you experience these things still, or they're just
Well, we'll get into the actual cave itself
okay.
here later, but yeah, there have been a lot of like ghost hunting teams and stuff like that where, and supposedly they've found things and have, you know, video evidence of it. I couldn't get any of that due to copyright reasons. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
no screen sharing today, unfortunately. So I was going to try to do that, but it wouldn't let me get to that. One of the most famous legends connected to the Bell Witch actually involves Andrew Jackson. At the time, Jackson was a military general, already famous for his role in the Battle of New Orleans. According to lore, Jackson traveled with a party of men to visit the Bell Farm and experience the witch himself.
Oh wow. So he heard about it. And he's like, I gotta go check this out.
Right. You know, I'm just a war hero, you know, and doing all this crazy stuff. And now I want to go see what the supernatural's all about. Fuck it. Right.
Yeah.
As they approach, their horses refuse to move any further. They got to a certain point and they would not go any further.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jackson reportedly declared, "By the eternal boys, it's a witch."
What's that mean? By the eternal boys.
I'm assuming he was
There's supposed to
like,
be a comma.
well, yes, by the eternal, comma,
Boys? He's just
boys.
calling them boys. Like, boys, we got a witch. Cool.
Well, Sarah, I don't know if you know this, but when your fucking horses just stop moving, which is the obvious answer?
Yeah, of course, because
So,
horses hate
yeah,
witches.
yeah,
Everyone knows that.
they won't go around them. They
They
actually
can
they
sniff a
yeah,
witch.
they sniff a witch out from a mile away, and they won't even go next step further, man. No,
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of humorous. I don't know why it was reported that he said that. I thought it was fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's funny.
Now, here's the crazy thing. At that night, his men were allegedly tormented by the entity, and by the morning they left, refusing to stay any longer.
Hmm. But did he stay or he left with them?
I think he left with them. It doesn't go into
Yeah.
much more detail than that. And in all honesty, I tried to look some of this stuff up. There's a lot of historians that are divided on this. There's some people that say this never fucking happened. There's other people that are like, "Yep, he is definitely there saying, 'Boys,' you know, whatever."
Yeah.
But
By the
uh,
eternal boy.
yeah, but there's no actual evidence that Andrew Jackson ever visited the farm. The tale has
Hmm.
been kind of invented later to lend credibility to the legend. So,
Sure.
regardless if he was there or not, I mean, it just added more layers to the folklore more than anything.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into John Bell and his death in 1920. So, John had his health deteriorating severely. This thing apparently was plaguing him morning, noon, and night, was not letting him sleep, was constantly taunting, mocking, just wearing him down, wearing him down, wearing him
Mm,
down. He was plagued by episodes of facial twitching and difficulty swallowing. So, like, to the point he was just so
mm.
exhausted he couldn't physically operate anymore.
Oh, wow.
And then on December 19th of 1820, he failed to wake. And near his bed, his family found a mysterious vial of liquid that they had supposedly never seen before.
Okay. Like they're saying the witch gave him poison?
Supposedly.
Like,
Now, here's the fucked up part. They gave a small amount to their cat, and the animal reportedly died instantly.
oh my God. Why would they do that? Just to
Well,
see,
you got to make sure.
I guess, pour it on a plant. Kill the cat.
Help.
Wow.
I mean, it was a
I
different life back
guess.
then. But
Yeah.
anyway, so
Yeah, it's not like they could test it, I guess.
but during this interaction, the voice of the witch, like, it came through so clearly, it was like yelling. It said, "I gave old Jack a big dose of that last night, which fixed him."
That's a lot to say.
I know.
To like yell.
we're talking class A, and when I say A, I mean capital A with so many exclamation points. EVP, Sarah. That is what that
Right.
fucking thing was.
Yeah, I gave old Jack that. He fixed it right up.
Yep.
Like, that doesn't sound like a witch to me.
Well, maybe it was a country witch from Robertson
Yeah,
County, Tennessee.
because she
That
would have been older too.
a little bit, maybe not by
Yeah.
much. But John did die the following day on December
Wow.
20th. His funeral was one of the largest ever held in the county, and attendees claimed that the witch's mocking voice was heard singing loudly throughout the service.
Hmm.
If that's fucking true, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Singing what? A hymn? Another hymn?
Maybe.
Or
Jesus loves me,
like,
this I know. Old
yeah,
John Bell, he died, and I'll tell you so, or I don't fucking know.
yeah.
Anyway, now
Wow.
modern historians suggest that John may have suffered from like a neurological disorder or some sort of chronic illness. But that would explain like the face twitching, the unable to swallow. And if you have that sort of like a chronic illness on top of that, like your health is going to deteriorate rapidly, especially with no
Yeah.
like access to modern medicine. And that would also explain why he wasn't able to wake up if he had like a neurological like episode or like an aneurysm or something. He would still be alive, but it wouldn't be for very long.
Right.
So,
Well, did it keep tormenting Betsy too?
well, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So, but for the people of Robertson County, they ultimately claimed the witch had killed him. She had
Yeah.
like definitely done it. There was no question in the matter because they couldn't explain it. So that's
Right.
what we go with. We go
Well,
with
and
witch.
they heard her confession too,
Well,
so
that's true. It's true. But after John's death, the activity diminished, but did not cease entirely. Betsy Bell, who had been
hmm.
tormented most of all, eventually broke off her engagement to her future husband, saying the witch disapproved of the match.
Okay. So she's
I don't
okay.
know.
That sounds like a
That
abusive
sounds
relationship.
like I got an easy out. I'm using the witch, pulling out the witch
Yeah.
card, Sarah.
Right. Yeah, I really don't like you, so the witch doesn't approve.
You saw what happened to my dad. She's just gonna fucking slip you some poison, bud. So
Right. It's really for your best interest.
it is. It is. It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. It's the witch.
Yeah, it's
She
the
just
witch.
haunts me.
But in 1821, the entity announced that it would leave, promising to return in 7 years. So, unlike the girl from The Ring, 7 days,
Right,
she's going
yeah.
to give you 7 years.
Years.
Yeah,
That's a
there you
long
go.
time.
Actually, she'd probably be loud and boisterous and say it with a country accent. Hey, y'all, listen up. I'll be back about 7 years from now, so y'all better be good.
Right, yeah. Did they move then? Did they leave?
Well, according to some accounts, it did return in 1828, visiting John Bell Jr. now.
How old is he now then? I guess. I don't
I would
know.
I would have to check. I'm assuming early adulthood would probably
Yeah.
be more than likely. But they had a rousing discussion ranging from religions to the Civil War.
Okay. So it was civil with him.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. After
Just
this,
want
the
to
witch.
debate.
Yeah. Yeah. She just likes the tough conversations.
Yeah.
But after this, the witch did disappear from the historical record.
Hmm.
The legend still endures. Today, the Bell Witch is remembered not only as folklore, but a part of Tennessee's cultural identity. I mean, it really is. Like I said, the Bell Witch Cave is located near the Old Bell Farm, has become a tourist destination, often claimed to experiencing strange sensations inside. Now,
Mm,
I have never been. I really, really want to go. But this story, like most really good ghost stories, has inspired like movies, books, TV shows. Like there was a movie called, I think, An American Haunting that was based off of this story. So like it's even gone into like all of, cultural society for making like a huge movie. So I don't know.
right. Wow.
But let's actually get into the cave because that's kind of like I don't know this story about John Bell and like the phrasing that's used. I don't know. It doesn't feel real.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
It doesn't feel authentic, I guess.
Now, supposedly, there's a story um, about a gentleman while it was in their house mocking them, that this gentleman threw a blanket and it went over an unseen entity and he grabbed it, but he couldn't lift it because it became so heavy he couldn't lift it.
Oh my god. That's crazy. That would be insane.
That
Wow.
would be insane. I don't know how much validity. That's why I didn't really talk about it a whole lot.
Right. But that would be crazy if you actually experienced that.
Sarah, I'm telling you right now, if I threw a motherfucking blanket in the air and there's nobody in the room with me and I see a person's shaped silhouette, I am shitting everything. Everything.
Are you gonna try to
Bricks.
grab any of it?
Fuck no, I'm not going to grab any of that shit, man. I'm going to shit my pants and try to get the fuck out of there.
Oh my
Are you
god,
kidding
yeah,
me?
that would be crazy.
Man, oh, side tangent. One of the paranormal activities I saw in theaters, and there's a scene, I think it's the third one when they're little girls. And they're like running around the house, and the next thing you know, like one girl runs by and the next one like hits an invisible wall and just like looks up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You have that shit happen to me, I'm fucking out. I'm not sticking around. I'm not hanging out. I don't need to do this anymore. We're good.
Yeah, that would be so scary.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I don't know. Like I said, that story, there's a few of these, like the John to Adam thing that kind of cracked me up. Kind of
Yeah.
fucking hilarious. By the almighty, boys, it's a
Right,
witch.
yeah. Boys. Yeah, I don't see him saying boys at
I
all
don't
like that.
know, man. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, let's actually get into the cave itself. And there is a picture that I will show. I'll share the screen real quick. This it I will say they have it barred off. So like you can't go anywhere unless it's open. So this is what it looks like.
Mm,
So you can see it's like it's only
yeah,
open for certain parts of the year. So
for safety or whatever.
yeah. I mean, they'll tell you whatever they want to tell you, but for
Yeah.
it's really hiding the entity. But the
Yeah.
Bell Witch Cave is a cave located in Adams, Tennessee, and it's really close to where the Bell Farm once stood. So the cave is approximately 490 feet long, and it is privately owned. And tours are only given during the summer months and then the month of October for
Of
obvious
course.
reasons. So, but any other time, if it's not past Labor Day, or yeah, once Labor Day happens, it pretty much closes. So
Yeah.
this cave has been associated with the Bell Witch, which we've already talked about, plagued the family. And the cave is located on a property once owned by the Bell family, and many believe when the witch departed the family, she fled to the sanctuary of this cave.
I mean, why? Just because it's right there?
Yeah,
Like,
probably. It's a good spot. You know, she's
I
like, ooh,
guess.
looks nice. I'm going to move on in.
Yeah. She became a hedge witch.
Yeah. Well, but here's where it gets interesting. There is a legend that in the cave that the young Betsy Bell and some of her friends had gone to explore the cave. While they were
Mm.
in there, one of the boys crawled into a hole and became stuck, and a voice cried out, "I'll get him out of there." The boy felt hands grasping his feet, and he was pulled out of the hole. The supposedly invisible entity then gave the young boys a lecture on reckless cave exploring.
She saved a child, I guess.
Well,
That's good. Oh my god.
while the cave is close to the homestead of the Bell family,
Right.
it didn't really play a role at all. Like you don't hear about it in
Yeah,
any of the
till
stories, right? Until
right.
well after.
Hmm.
The alleged cave ventures by the Bell children most likely was like written many years after the event, more than likely. Now, I will say there is a story about one of John Bell's sons that supposedly went into the cave, and there are actual, and this is true, there are Indian burial ground in that cave.
Okay. Yeah.
So he supposedly took a skull from
Okay.
one of these grave sites, and the activity didn't start until he took the skull home. A tooth fell out of it, allegedly, went down between the floorboards, and then he got in trouble and was told to bring the skull back to wherever he found it from. So, if you're into the no shit poltergeist legend
Right.
of like popular culture, then that would make a lot of sense. You disturb some Indian burial grounds, and next thing you know, you have a spirit that wants to debate with you about hot topics of the day,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
possibly poison you. But I don't know. It very well could be. And I've tried to think about like how you would really explain the Bell Witch. You have the supernatural explanation, of course. That's kind of the easy way out.
Hmm.
A lot of skeptics suggest that there are like more psychological explanations. Like we know that mass hysteria happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty common, especially like you saw that a lot even in like the Salem witch trials. People just believe in what they want to believe. There was a lot of other motivations outside of that to get these people killed or at least shunned from the society.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Another good possibility is like sleep paralysis. Like, obviously, they didn't know what sleep paralysis was. And if you had somebody screaming or whispering in the night and it wasn't you and you're in the middle of the woods in a dark ass cabin, what
Right.
do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
I guess.
I'm going to freak the
But
fuck
yeah,
out a little
the
bit.
whole family though.
Well, that kind of where it's like the mass hysteria thing.
Yeah, I guess. Fun visitors too. I don't know.
I don't know if I give too much credence to the visitor, Sarah. I truly don't.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's a John Adams story, over
Yeah.
embellished and most likely not true.
Yeah, it'd be
So,
hard to tell, I guess, back then.
yeah, I don't know. But to be honest with you, like I've experienced some things and a lot of like good research has gone into like the poltergeist phenomenon. Whatever you think that is, whether it's energy, whether it's an actual spirit, whether it's whatever, there's a lot of things that people have found, especially like I know Ghost Adventures did one in the cave where they caught like full body apparitions in the cave.
Mm. Oh wow.
They went to where the property used to stand and they caught a lot of crazy stuff. Like there was one time, I think it was like a huge boom that like shook the entire house. Now,
Wow.
that could have been TV fakery for sure, but a lot of people have reported, even still on the property where it used to stand, that there's a lot of weird shit that happens. And it could
Hmm.
be because you have that in your mind of like, this is a haunted place.
Are you there?
Did I lose you? Yep, I got
Okay.
you back.
Yeah.
What's the
Okay.
last thing you heard?
That a lot of it could be because of I don't know what you like just all the stuff happening on the property, and a
Oh,
lot of it could be because of
I mean, it could be
I
natural
think that's what
things,
you said. Yeah.
because there are like the way that like your body will react to certain like electrical currents or stuff like that that
Yeah.
you can actually feel that are not just mumbo jumbo. Like there
Hmm.
could be stuff that runs through there. So, but a lot of skeptics suggest, it was more psychological. It was more of just like a fad. Like, ooh, we're gonna go do this. Like I said, it turned into an attraction really fucking quick.
Right.
So, and a lot of these stories are suggested to have been grossly exaggerated because there was a book that was written in 1894.
Okay.
So this book was probably used. They wanted to sell a lot of copies of it. So
Mm,
what should we do? Maybe we should blend some facts into some fiction and over embellish some stories. And
right. Make
you
it
know what
more
I mean?
interesting.
Yeah, well, because at the end of the day, that's what they want to do. They want
Yeah.
to sell more copies. Would you like to see a possible rendition of what John Bell saw?
Yes.
Okay, I got you, Sarah. It actually it's a picture of him as well, so you
Okay.
get to kind of see what he looked like allegedly.
Right. So it's not true. Okay, I see. It has two heads?
See, that's where I think it's hilarious because we just talked about how that stuff got over embellished, and we
Right.
talked about how in the beginning, it was a dog with a rabbit head. Now we have
Right.
John Bell feeding a two-headed dog. Like, you know what
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Like,
just a dot. It's like a Cerberus, but two heads.
right. Now, don't get me wrong. I really truly feel like it it had to be scary as fuck living back in that time. You're living in the middle of the woods. You have animals around, like I said in the beginning, a cut. you getting the flu, diarrhea, like that could kill you, you
Right.
know? So I think to put a lot of people's minds at ease, it was easy to tell these like ghost stories of to how explain like how people died. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't
Yeah,
have
instead of it
modern
just being,
medicine.
yeah.
So, and then on top of that, we've talked about it before, like when we talked about our Grand Canyon episode, like during that time, there were these writers that their entire job was to make the most crazy story up to get in the newspaper.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and with life being as hard as it was in that time, how easy would it be for somebody to create a grift and be like, "Hey, if you want to come check out the Bell Witch, she'll come talk to you. Here, give me $2 and you can come in my house and she'll talk to you."
Yeah, I mean, did they charge? Does it say they charge
It
people?
never says they charged, but they obviously got a lot of attention for it.
Well, yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Well,
And
maybe they wanted to build up the community there too or something.
that's the other thing. You know, like I said, John was a very prominent elder in that area. So, I mean, people already had immense respect for him. So, like, they weren't going to say he was lying either. That's the other thing, you know? So, I don't know. There are some spooky stories with it, but this is more of like, I think, more of a tongue in cheek story for me. I still want to go to the Bell Witch Cave.
Yeah.
I've never been. There are some really cool, I'll try to find some more pictures of it because there are actual, it is an actual burial ground. And there you
Okay,
go.
well,
And
I mean,
obviously, if
that
I,
could have, sorry.
no, you're good. And I'm just saying, obviously, if I were to go there, I would treat it with the utmost respect. Like
Yeah. Well.
here's one of the actual burial sites inside the
Hmm.
cave. I mean, it's really beautiful in there. But
Yeah, do they have tours or you just pay to go in,
no,
like
no, no.
self-guided or?
It is a guided tour. You are not allowed to
Okay.
go in by yourself.
Yeah.
That's really like I don't know. When I see about stuff with the Bell Witch Cave and stuff like that, I see it more as a tourist attraction and almost like a place of reverence when you want to go there because there are obviously people that have been buried there. Most of them
Right. Yeah.
are Native Americans, if not all. So, you know, you don't want to go there and you wouldn't go to a cemetery and be disrespectful. It's the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now that being said, there, like I said, there is a Ghost Adventures episode. I'll send it to you, and we can link it in the comments down below if you guys want to capture or listen to it or watch it. That is one of the most convincing Ghost Adventure episodes I think I've seen.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they're seeing like apparitions with like headdresses on. So
Yeah. Wow.
you know, it's not just like a kind of a weird like woo oh what was that? It was a shadow in the distance. Like
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and
It's
the
a
crazy
blob.
right. Regardless of how much validity do you think it has, like all of their sensors that they were using were going like haywire that
Hmm.
episode. And like everything was being interacted with. And it didn't seem like the typical like Zach Bagans, oh, fight me, ghost. Come
All
on.
right.
What do you do? You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
actually seemed like a legit episode. Now, that, like I said, that could be TV fakery, but that's just kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
don't
was
know.
gonna say, like, since it is a burial ground, like, even if there's not the witch there, like, there's still energy. Like, people are
Oh,
buried
yeah.
there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, there have been stories about people that like take rocks from it and like they start
Hmm.
getting sick. They start seeing entities. They start having poltergeist activities in their house. And I don't know if that's true and I wouldn't take a rock from inside the
Right.
cave,
Yeah.
but I do kind of want to go because like you said, I'm skeptical, but I feel like I am more sensitive to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I need to go one of these times. I've been down here for so long and I still haven't even attempted to go. But one of my nobody that I know around here wants to go though, so I got to find people from outside of here that want to go.
Yeah, I'll
So
go. We
hey,
gotta plan that too.
I was gonna say, Sarah, that's an easy trip. Okay, all
Yeah.
you got to do is make it down here. I'll pick you up wherever, and we can go. The bad
Okay.
thing about it is we can't film in there. There's no
Right. I was gonna
photography.
ask. Okay. But in front of it, can you?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Well, and who knows? Maybe we can use some of our clout of podcasters to be like, "Hey,
There you go.
kind of a big deal here. You should let us, take some pictures and shoot some video."
Yeah. Let us investigate at night.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, Ghost
I'll,
Adventures did.
well, yes, but Ghost Adventures was also ran by Discovery Channel that probably
Yeah.
paid them a lot of money.
Right.
I will
Yeah,
be
we can
like,
pay them
I
$20.
have $20. Actually, Sarah and I will give you $20 to let us a whopping 40. So,
Yeah,
well,
no
that
more than
that's
that.
all I got for the Bell Witch, Sarah. I mean, it's kind of like
Okay.
I said, I was expecting some more, but it kind of got to the point when I was doing my research of just like, this is fucking bullshit.
Well, it's so long ago too, it's hard to find, like,
Yeah,
actual evidence and stuff, like,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, it was interesting though. I don't think I've heard much about it actually.
Yeah, and even around here, like I've talked to people that I work with, and they're like, "The what?" And I'm like, "Dude, there's no way you don't know about this." You
Really?
know what I
People
mean?
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
Now, obviously, closer in that you get, there are people
Mm,
that know all about it, but I'm just talking about the
yeah,
very small sample size of people I work with. So I don't know. It is kind of a big deal around here. So
right. And can we go on the property too, the old property? Or is
I don't
that
know.
private?
I think it's privately owned, and I don't know
Yeah.
exactly where that's at because it always says it is nearby. Like you don't, it doesn't give you like a. I'm sure we could find it. I don't think that would be a big deal, but
Yeah, I mean, there's probably not any structures, I guess, left
I
or
think there was a dilapidated structure, not from the original house, but from something that was built over it.
oh, okay.
But
Yeah, maybe we could
it's
find it on Google or something.
maybe, yeah. We can just go on a road trip. Like I said, it's only like 30
Yeah.
minutes down the road from me, Sarah. So just,
Okay. Well, let's plan that too then. We got a lot to plan. Yeah, I wore
but
my Witches Be Crazy shirt.
Sarah, I need you to get me some of these shirts. Cease your investigation. Your witches be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You got some winners over here, okay? I need to
Yeah.
get on your level.
Just for Halloween or whatever for this time, but yeah. Well, since
All
we're
right.
talking about witch,
Well,
what happened with the mist? We didn't really talk about. You said there was a mist. Do people still experience that? Like the witch is a mist?
like I think I might have misspoke.
Oh, okay. You said they see a mist
She's in the
sometimes.
midst of
She's in the mist.
not like
Okay.
I mean like she's a spirit in the ether, not I was being
Okay. Even if they just see a cloud
No,
of
no, no, I
mist
wasn't
and say
being
that's the
literal.
witch. Okay.
I was my bad. I apologize.
Sorry. I will. Okay. I was waiting for the mist to show up.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
you're good.
probably
That's my problem.
misspoke. Well,
All
Sarah,
right.
you know where witches really like to be, because witches be crazy. They
Mm-hmm.
like to be in the mist
Right.
and hanging out
Yeah.
and looking like a dog with a rabbit head
Yeah.
and
That was probably
telling
her familiar.
telling future presidents that, hey, you know, it'd be really funny if you said, boys.
Right. That's just crazy. I don't think that's true at all.
I know for a fact that's not true, Sarah. That doesn't sound like
Yeah.
anything that would be true. So
No.
I don't know.
Man.
But listeners, that's going to do it for the Bell Witch. If you would like to help us do stuff that we're talking about, i.e., going to the Bell Witch Cave, the Genesee Theater, the Grand Canyon,
Yeah.
go down to the show notes. Check out our Patreon. We got some cool little perks down there for you to check out, and it would help us out quite a lot. Easiest and free way, as usual, share this podcast with a friend. It goes a lot further than you would know. Check us out on all social media. Just search the Paranoid Perspective Podcast and you will find us. Or if you just want to go down to the show notes, they will all be right down there. And as always,
Remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not watching. See you next time on The Paranoid Perspective.